never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, we are live. We are back again with your AEW Collision review for December 2nd, 2023. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of the party. Let's get into the introductions. Over here, sitting next to me, the one, the only, Paulus Clarke. Oh, you know. Of course, you know me. It's me on the big time, and we're here to go over another thing of things. Yes, we're here. We're going to review your Collision for AEW for December 2nd, 2023. And, of course, we start off with the Continental Classic for the Blue Group, Claudio Castagnoli versus Brody King. Two big brutes just slamming into one another. A decent match. Nothing a whole lot to talk about here. Brody... That's wrong. Did he? I thought Claudio won. Am I wrong? I swore Claudio Castagnoli beat Brody King here. Claudio cut the right hand off the fall by the power driver for a near fall. Brody with a giant lariat to end this one. No, oh, that's right. Brody King did win. He hit him with the big lariat. I don't know what I was thinking. That's right. Brody King did get the big win there. Claudio got hammered with that big elbow because they were talking about, or the big arm because they were talking about the cast. I don't know why I thought Claudio won.
Projective thinking.
I guess so. It's a solid match between these two. Nothing fancy here. It was just two big brutes crashing out. Brody King pulls out a win. He moves on. He has 6 points. And so, yeah. Your thoughts. Welcome, Miguel. Aren't you at a concert? Are you doing double duty?
Something like that for Miguel. This, on paper, is something that could have been pay-per-view main event worthy. We have it here at the Continental Classic. Like I said, decent match. Not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But it's a TV match, so what'd you really expect? I kind of give it meh, just because it's just continuing their story, and that's it.
Yep. Then we got a really weird interview with Jon Moxley in the back about all the injuries he's had, but he's still here. He's going to go through the tournament. He's facing Rush. I don't really know what the purpose for this promo with Jon Moxley sitting in some stairwell somewhere. It was weird. I don't know. He's taking on Rush on Dynamite Wednesday, but yeah, it was just, and he was talking about all the, I don't know where he went with it. It was just kind of awkward, and I was like, okay. You have any thoughts on Moxley's promo?
Not really. I mean, this isn't like out of the ordinary for him. I mean, it's like,
dude, it sounded
back, he was doing promos kind of like this in the sense of location wise.
Yeah. This promo sounded so much like the end of his WWE days.
Well, did he really give a shit one way or another at this point?
I mean, the end when he was about to leave WWE, this is what his promo sounded like. Oh, I'm hurting, but I'm just like, God, are you making a? Are we back in WWE or is this something new?
He might be trying to tell us something without telling us something.
I don't know.
As far as his backstage attitude, not necessarily that anything's going to happen one way or another. Who knows?
I don't know. You know he can't go back to WWE and bleed as much as he does in AEW. So.
And then again, he doesn't have to if it's just about the creativity.
So from here, we had a match between Abaddon and Kiera Hogan. Why? Just to throw people together. Abaddon gets a win here in a 4-minute match. Afterwards, Julia Hart shows up, has a moment with Abaddon. Abaddon looks like she was about to go for Julia Hart, and then Julia Hart disappears as fast as she showed up in the ring. It was a decent match. I don't know if there was a whole lot. I know you're more of a Abaddon person than I am, but we got a match there with Abaddon and Kiera Hogan. It was okay.
You can't say, hey, they don't have enough women's matches. Hey, we don't, give you other stars or other competitors, excuse me. Like, I was wondering at first who they were trying to build up because you haven't seen either one really do much, in more recent time. And so when it was Abaddon, and then when we saw Julia Hart, it's like, okay, that's where they're going with it. I've been watching Kiera Hogan since her TNA run. So I was having a little more hope, but ever since she's been signed to AEW, it's like she's been used as enhancement talent. So it is what it is. And
do you feel this is the Abaddon that you've known before?
Versus... Oh, hell
no. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what the attraction about Abaddon is, and I'm watching this match just going, okay, cool. Like, I don't see any difference from the last match I saw her in that. At least it wasn't a stupid street fight, which was just horrible to watch. Anyways, we have a backstage segment with Joe, and for the freaking stupid reason that Tony Khan must get his knocks off or get a chuckle out of having the Kingdom roll in with Roderick Strong and scream out Adam and scream out Joe. So now we have next strong bullcrap going on here as they come out crying out Joe, trying to tell Joe, no, you can't trust MJF. He's the devil. I want to puke all over the place because I don't really give a crap about the devil crap anymore. And why Roderick Strong, can they reveal this and get this over with? Get Roderick Strong out of a wheelchair and get him over this. I don't have anything to say really about this. The only thing that was funny is I don't know if Joe was doing a promo or if he was doing his shoot when they're all done because Roderick Strong said that since Adam Cole's his best friend, then he's best friends with Samoa Joe by proxy.
By proxy.
And so Joe just chuckles, and I wonder if Joe was actually doing a promo or if he was chuckling at how crappy this crap is, and that was a shoot to just be like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't want to be part of this.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was both. Like, he knew, at least had a bullet point of what was going to happen in this promo, and because from a character standpoint, it would make sense for Joe to laugh at him. Like, this is some silly bullshit. And just because of how crappy it is, the guy behind the performer wouldn't surprise me if he laughed either.
I'm just over all that. So we got the second match in the Continental Classic tonight. Daniel Garcia versus Andrade Alilo. Daddy Magic got to sing ringside for this match on commentary, but he couldn't lead the commentary table. And CJ Perry came down with Andrade Alilo. I don't get the big coat. She's like trying to show up, not show up. I'm just like, I don't know. Anyways. And then she tries to stay at the ringside after the bell rings until the ref basically throws her out, and that's the last we've seen of her. We got a decent match between Andrade and Garcia. It was a pretty decent point. Andrade gets the win because we know Garcia's here just to take the losses. It was a good 14-minute match. Not a whole lot to add into it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Andrade, Daniel Garcia, it's what should be on Collision. I don't know why these guys are in the tournament, kind of, but hey, that's what we got. Your thoughts?
You should be happy, though. The whole story of the match was the non-dancing.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I mean, it really was what it was. There's not really a whole lot to add to it.
No.
It was okay. It wasn't Daniel Garcia's best, even from a serious wrestler point of view. When you look at what he did with Bryan Danielson, you're like, I mean, it was all right, but...
Yeah. So from here we got...
more time and more interest they could do more.
Yeah. From there, we got footage of the Gold League tournaments. This person saying he can't stress enough to go check out Swerve versus Jay White. I don't know what was so great about that match, but okay. I guess Swerve and Jay White did put on a pretty good match. Of course, Jay White's taking on Jay Lethal, so it'll be the Battle of the Jays this coming up week. So there we go. Let's get excited, right? Then out of nowhere, we get Willie Mack deciding he's going to challenge Wardlow next week. So yeah, because he put his hands on AR Fox. So Mac's mad that Fox got beat by Wardlow, even though I think Fox was the one who put himself in the path of Wardlow. So, I mean,
Right?
Willie Mack, why do I care? You're going to get eaten up by Wardlow and spit out the other side. Then we get to the part where, we have more time than we know, because Tony Khan obviously didn't book this show properly, because they kept telling us throughout the night, we have standby matches. I'm like, what the hell is a standby match? How do you have a program where you have standby matches? Like, you should already have known what time everything's going and have your show planned out. Wrestling is staged. I mean, it's not fake, but we know it is staged. But I mean, it's like, really? You have extra matches on standby because you have filler time? What? This was the stupidest thing, and they said this many times. I'm just like, that's just, you don't show your hand. Like, this is stupid. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, this is not the first time they've done this. This is the first time in a good while. But they've talked about standby matches before. So
But
it's actually in AEW's... Yes, it is stupid. I agree with you completely.
It's
It
stupid.
is the dumbest thing.
I don't care if it's in their freaking lore. It's stupid. It's like, it's like if we came on here and said, well, we didn't really watch the show, but we're going to talk about it. I mean, it's like, you're not prepared enough. I mean, it's like, there's just certain things you don't put out there into the universe. Like, we only have standby matches because we didn't know how long these Tony Khan's the booker, right? Tony Khan's the everything guy, so he should know when these matches and how long they're going to take and how long each of these segments are going to take. And if they run over, then you cut other moments, but I don't know how you have standby matches. Like, we don't know.
Want to stir the pot
Stupid.
a little bit?
Go ahead.
So one of the roles that apparently, I'm seeing his name. I'm seeing his face in my head, but I can't his name at the moment. He just left AEW recently. QT Marshall.
Oh, QT Marshall. Yes.
Yes. Apparently, one of his roles was to time out the matches. So without QT, what does Tony do?
How do you work a stopwatch? Daddy. Anyways, so we got the Kingdom versus Iron Savages. Why? Who knows? This match was 3 minutes long, so we had a filler match that was 3 minutes. So what was the freaking point? Kingdom wins. Stupid move. Stupid time. Who cares? Oh, do you want to add anything about that match real quick? Because I'm about to shit on everything with
from the get-go.
Yeah, I just want to make sure
With
if
the
you have
King
any.
of Canada.
Oh yeah, I'm about to shit on all this with this next segment here. But yeah, the Kingdom wins in 3 minutes against the Iron Savages. Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, stupid shit. Then it gets stupider because we have Ethan Page, who hasn't been on TV in I don't know how long. I didn't even know he might have still been there. At least on AEW TV. I guess he's racking up wins in Ring of Honor. Like, who counts wins in Ring of Honor? Because, I mean, how many people are watching that stuff right now? I mean, who cares? But no, he wants to be the King of Canada, and I guess the man wearing his crown is Kenny Omega. So what you're telling me is Kenny Omega is too busy with Chris Jericho to fight for the tag team titles, that he can't be in the tournament. But Kenny Omega is free to fight Ethan Page next week on Collision in Canada somewhere. I don't know where they're going to be in Canada because it's not happening in Dynamite. So Kenny Omega, or Ethan Page wants a match with Kenny Omega out of the freaking blue because, quote-unquote, Kenny Omega is wearing the crown of Canada. I don't know. Ethan Page is going to take on Kenny Omega, and then we got breaking news later tonight that this match is going to happen on Collision. So Ethan Page is getting fed to Kenny Omega, or maybe they're going to let Ethan Page. No, they really can't. So I don't know the point. Don't know why. Don't care. Don't know how somebody who hasn't been on TV in weeks can just come out and go, oh, Kenny Omega, I want you in a ring. I want to wrestle you. I mean, I don't, Any thoughts on it from you? I mean, I know you're probably more of an Ethan Page guy. I know a little bit about him when he was in TNA. That there was a little bit better stuff there, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, what's funny is in TNA when he was a part of the tag team in the North, with damn it, I'm forgetting his name. I can visualize him, I just can't remember. Anyways, I didn't really start liking Ethan Page until he started his singles run in TNA. I mean, even then he was kind of used as comedy guy.
Yeah.
He had so much potential coming into AEW, and they just never really ran with it. No matter what situation they put him in, they don't set him up for success. They just haven't. And this match is not going to be any different.
No. Now they gave us a tag team match. The House of Black, Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews, because they don't know what to do with these two guys at the moment, take on Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. So the head of talent relations is going to get in the ring with Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, if you don't remember. And you sit there going, why do I fucking give 2 minutes of time of my life to this match? And it went 8 minutes, which was probably about 7 minutes longer than it ever needed to be. The House of Black wins, and then the lights go out, and afterwards we get FTR, because during this match, they decided to tell us, even though Ethan Page would still work there. Yeah, he does. Anyway, so the lights go out, and then we get the FTR. They're out here, and Malachi Black's talking to FTR about joining the House of Black, and it's all a sword. But during this whole stupid match, they talked about how the House of Black wants to take on FTR, because FTR is the gatekeepers to the tag team titles, which are held by Ricky Starks and Big Bill, which the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and he is Christopher, but Chris Jericho are the number one contenders. So I don't know how FTR is the gatekeepers to anything. Anyways, Dax and Cash has got a gun, and Dax the axe. Both got their heads kicked in here pretty much. So the tag team match was pointless. The whole point was to have a House of Black versus FTR moment. I guess House of Black and FTR are probably facing off at World's End. Hopefully Tony Khan puts that match on a pay-per-view. It might be pay-per-view quality. I love FTR. I respect House of Black, but House of Black to me is just like they go like, oh, they're important. No, they're not important. Oh, they're important. No, they're not important. And Brody King's in the tournament when Malachi Black should be in the tournament. Anyways, what would you like to say about this clusterfuck of a clusterfuck?
The Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal have been teaming in Ring of Honor. I mean, they were in the OG Ring of Honor. Ever since Ring of Honor has been brought back on Honor Club, that's where you find them. From an AEW, if you only watch Dynamite and Collision, I understand why you don't know crap about crap. And I can understand why people are confused. There's a rich history between Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, but you don't know that by watching AEW TV, because they don't tell you nothing.
No, they feel like jobbers when they come on AEW TV, so.
Yes. Which is really sad. Like, the former Ring of Honor World Champion, and they're together. They're also former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Like, that rich history. Why are we bleeding history?
Well, Christopher Daniels has a rich history in TNA, and hell, Christopher Daniels almost was the higher power in WWE. It came that close to actually being some. But anyways, no, I know what Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels can do, but I mean, it's just in this match, you're like, nah, I don't really care, and I don't even care about the House of Black, because it's just like they do this, like they're important, they're not important, and it's just like I can't get excited about them because they haven't done anything with Malachi Black since he's gotten there. And when they do it for like a month, and then they drop the ball. If we get a month, who cares?
3 weeks more like it. Jeez.
Anyways, we went from there to another weird thing in the black and the white with Toni Storm, but she's not being interviewed by RJ City. She's being interviewed by Renee Paquette. And she doesn't make a reference to Sky or saying Sky Blue should walk backwards because everybody talks about her butt. She's going to get an AEW Women's Championship, I think, on Dynamite. Sky Blue and Toni Storm are going to tie it up. Eventually, Toni looks down and says she's barefoot, so she takes Renee Paquette's shoe and takes it off and then just kind of chucks it over as she walks away. I don't know. I'm losing more and more faith with each of these vignettes by Toni Storm. I'm just like, hopefully this time we don't get a metal plate in the butt hanging halfway out.
Jeez.
Is there anything you want to add? I know you're a big fan of Toni Storm. I just kind of, these vignettes just get weirder and weirder, and I'm just like it.
I get it. I feel about this the way you feel about Kazawa and
Yeah.
that whole bit.
Ooh, Tozawa, that's nasty. Yeah.
Like you, because as you said in the past, it's funny at first, but you keep marrying it in, the joke, just beating the joke
Yeah.
down. Like, okay. And that's where I am with Tony Storm.
Yeah, I'm losing it here even more. Just like, okay. And then we got to see foot. Go ahead.
It's gonna be a pretty match. I'll leave it at that.
I'll watch because of Sky Blue. I mean, the only good things I think on this show tonight that we got to see Julia Hart and we got to see Sky Blue briefly. That was about the excitement of the night for me. Then we got to relive the Christian Cage Adam Copeland to set up for their title match at Montreal because I don't even know we would care. And then we had more time to fill. And the David Bowie wannabe of professional wrestling and the midget luchador took on each other, or their names are Vikingo and Sabian, if you want to know who I'm talking about. Was a match. Went about 8 minutes. Vikingo beat the David Bowie wannabe of Kip Sabian. And yeah, now you're like, well, Kip Sabian, I thought you were something important at one time. But I guess you're nobody now. So go play back in Ring of Honor. And yeah. Anything you want to add to this match? I'm sorry. It's nothing to get excited about.
No, I agree with you. That's why it's like, I got nothing.
So from there, we got Keith Lee in the back with Lexi, and then Shane Taylor comes out, and Shane Taylor challenges Keith Lee. They're going to meet at Final Battle, so I guess that's Ring of Honor's pay-per-view. So we got an advertisement on Dynam on Collision on an AEW TV show for a match that's happening at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Yeah, we have World's End coming up, but you're booking a match for Ring of Honor's Final Battle. Makes a lot of sense on AEW TV, Tony Khan, since you really don't put anything about Ring of Honor on there, and then you're going to give us two people that were like, ooh, this would be a good match to put on World's End, or whatever the stupid pay-per-view at the end of the month that you have on AEW, that you haven't booked anything. Well, I guess you did book one other match. What was the other match? There was some match that they booked for World's End tonight. I don't even remember now.
You got Jordan MJF.
I thought they booked a match tonight for it. Or maybe I was thinking this much. No. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool.
You
Whatever.
also have the whoever the final of the Continental Classic is going to be there.
Cool. Sorry. Anyways, then we went from there, and then Miro's trying to go into Andrade's thing, and CJ's out there, basically like, if you love me, you won't touch my client. And Miro looks like a punk, and okay, I won't do nothing to your client. I don't know if that's true. He storms off. I just don't even care about this. If Miro doesn't do something to Andrade and just backs off because CJ asked him, then I'm just like, Miro. I guess Miro doesn't probably want to leave AEW now that they just recently signed CJ. They need to let them both go. They need to go back to WWE. They're better in WWE. Miro would be more over in WWE, and CJ Perry would be used accordingly. Not, I don't know. Your thoughts?
If they went back to early
Rusev.
Lana or later Lana.
Well, if they don't go back to the stupid
Rusev.
stuff with the Bobby Lashley stuff.
Rusev would definitely be over more just because. I would be a little more attentive to what are they doing with Lana. Are they going to go more early Lana and just let her just be a valet? And it's like she knew her stick back then. Versus later Lana where they tried to make her a wrestler. I was like, no.
No, she doesn't need to wrestle. She needs to be a valet manager. She could create a stable around Miro again, and make something out of that. And this crap just they don't heighten anything that makes CJ Perry feel like CJ Perry. She just kind of seems lost, and then Miro sounds like a punk. Don't do it. Don't touch my client. No, don't touch him. Okay, I lost my God, but because of you, I won't touch him. I'm mad. I walk away. And bad booking.
Yeah.
Don't even care about Miro, and that pisses me off because Miro's great. And they have the great Redeemer storyline, but they keep just crapping all over it. I mean, it's this It's a steaming pile of doo-doo, period. It is. Miro, I just say, let me go. Just walk out. I mean, let them all walk out. I don't know. I don't know if I can take it anymore. If I was working there and these were the things they were doing, I'd be like, fine, you know what? I'll just let's end this. I guess you guys got to get in a fight with Jungle Boy. That's what you got to do to get fired. Anyways, then we got the match. This was a decent match. Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. The only stupid thing was that Bryan Danielson was in an eye patch or an eye scar, not even an eye patch, because this thing moved all over the place like 20 times. You saw his eye that was supposed to be behind the patch. It just ruined the illusion of him being hurt because this whole thing was all over the place. He had to keep adjusting it. It just took everything out of it. I mean, Danielson did win in the end, which you pretty much expected. Eddie's gone down two. He has no wins. He's got to win the next 3 to even stay competitive at this point. This match went 16 minutes. They tried to sell this. Oh, we're going to stay with this until the end. And I'm like, if this goes over, I'm going to be pissed off because it was a good, solid match. But I was out of it because Bryan Danielson eye patch just like, ooh, it was all over the place. I'm just like, he's not really that hurt, I don't think.
He wouldn't be wrestling if he was.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm over it. Don't care. Your thoughts on this match?
Decent match. I just don't like how Eddie came in as the Ring of Honor World Champion, as the open weight champion, and he looked like if this were a round robin tournament, he would have lost the titles already. Why? It's over. I'm just like, he's looking like a booch.
Well, and I don't think he's winning this tournament because he's got to win all 3 of his next matches. And let's see who he has to fight Claudio Castagnoli, so that's going to be an interesting one how that goes. Daniel Garcia, he should be able to get over. And then he's got Andrade El Idolo. So, I mean, he would have to win all 3 of those to still be competitive. Could he possibly? But I don't know.
I'm not having the faith of that booking.
No. And right now they're built. I don't know who's going to beat Brody King. Brody King's already beaten Eddie Kingston. He's already beaten Claudio Castagnoli. So you're going to tell me Bryan Danielson's going to beat Brody King? This is going to be viable and believable with one eye and a funky eye patch that moves all over the place. Dude, as many times as they had to adjust that crap, I'm like, just take it off and be done with it. I mean, what's the word? I mean, it was like a scarf, maybe with a little padding in there. So I'm like, And you were getting punched and hit, and I mean, Eddie Kingston was going after the orbital socket there. So, I mean, it was like, what are you really wearing that's protecting you from anything? So why don't you just take it off so you quit doing, because one point it was like way over here, like on his nose, and you're like, okay, I can see your eye. And I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, just take it off. I mean, at some point, you just got to be like, you know, screw it, let's go. I don't need pirate. I don't need the pirate dragon, you know?
And besides, the whole gimmick looks better on Kairi Sane.
Yes, this is true. Except last night she lost, which didn't make a whole lot. I mean, it made sense because they're trying to get Bianca Belair. She's got to go through all the damage control so she can get another shot at Io Sky. Yada yada, blah blah. Can we trade Bianca Belair over to AEW and maybe get a Britt Baker or a Sky Blue or a Sky Blue and some of these other women over on WWE TV?
I am so not against that idea.
Can we trade Bianca Belair for Sky Blue and Julia Hart? I mean, that would be great stuff. And I'll trade you Bobby Lashley too, and then you can give me the House of Black over on WWE. Let's go into a trade.
Jeez.
I don't know. I don't care about Bianca Belair. She does nothing for me, and I don't know why she's still in the title picture. I don't know how Charlotte's not getting pissed off, like, well, why does she get to be in it? What about me? I'm Charlotte.
Oh, missed 14 times. We've seen it, been there, done it.
Who would you rather want right now, Charlotte or Bianca? Thank you.
I want to make an argument against that, but I can't.
I know you can. I mean, there's one match I'd like to see. It'd be Kairi Sane versus Io Sky, but this would be a different type of match, and I'm not going to go on air specifically saying all the details in that match. I would trade Bianca for
Brandy's
Brandy
not even
Rhodes,
in wrestling.
but Brandy would already be with WWE where her husband is if she wants to show up. So I mean, that's not a trade. I would trade Bianca for Abaddon at this point. Okay, I mean,
Don't even make sense to bring Brandy up. She's not even a wrestler anymore. Miguel will be very lucky that I don't have the soundboard.
Yeah!
Jesus. So the question is, do we want to talk about news or something, or do we want to end this short? Because
I
there's
don't.
nothing further to say about this show.
I don't. I'd be this close to trading Bianca for all red everything.
Wow.
That
That's saying something from you.
I know. I would be that close. Yes, really, it happened. I don't know if there's a whole lot of. I mean, there's news. There's a lot of different news stories. I don't know what's AEW news. AEW's. Oh, AEW's profit made $175 million this year, so I guess they're profitable, but their books are still showing that they're in the red. Guess what they're spinning out, so don't get fooled. If you look at the audience tonight, there was not much of a crowd. That was a small place. At least that's better than what they've been booking. The only thing, I hear a lot of the people who are leaving AEW these days and showing up in other places, especially WWE, they're having a hard time dealing with fans on all sides of the arena. They don't know how to react.
It's so foreign to them.
I know. And then we got Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, Dynamite, you have Sky Blue and Tony Storm fighting for the AEW Women's Champion on Dynamite in Montreal. Pay-per-view quality match, but we'll give it away on free TV. We have Christian versus Adam Copeland, free TV for the TNT title. Pay-per-view quality match. You have a pay-per-view coming at the end of the month, Tony. I swear, the only thing he's really building is this MJF. Oh, we got MJF and Samoa Joe against two of the Devil's Goons, so hopefully two of these people will be unmasked. But I don't know if they'll be unmasked, because I think once anybody's unmasked, you're going to kind of figure out who everybody else is.
And the other thing is, how do you know? It's kind of just as bad as Retribution. It's like, until you unmask them, it's like, you don't know how many people are really a part of this. When you're talking about the Goons.
This could be an Aces and Eights thing going down. I have no clue, and I don't know if I care anymore. They've just ran it out. And then everybody who thinks, on Wednesday when that one goon had the bat was slapping it down, they're all like, that's Wardlow. And I'm like, what? Oh, Wardlow came out with floppy hair. I'm like, Wardlow hasn't came out with looking like Wardlow looks like most of the time he's coming to ring, it's like they just call him out and go, hey, Wardlow, we need you to go out here and beat somebody up. So I don't, his messed up hair, I mean, hell, that person could have been Jack Swagger. It could be the JAS because they don't have anything else to do with them. So they have them dressed up to play these roles. We don't even know if the people wearing the mask are playing the roles of whoever's going to be who at the end.
Right.
At least you got fired on your day off. Yeah. Yeah. Smokey. We'll let you talk to Smokey about that one. It's going to get you high today. Debo! Oh. I don't know what to say about AEW. We got a pay-per-view that's so big, but nothing's being built towards it. And now we got Kenny Omega taking on Ethan Page on a Collision next week because Ethan Page wants the crown of Canada, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, where did we come up with this thing? Kenny Omega's the king of Canada? I didn't know Kenny Omega was the king of Canada.
That was the idea, sort of, when Jericho went to New Japan to face Kenny Omega, who was the top Canadian. That's what that whole story was built on. And now Ethan Page is trying to.
Ethan Page thinks he can. Ethan Page thinks he can get in the ring and dance with Muhammad Ali now. I mean, is this what he? I mean, Ethan Page, who are you? I'm sorry, it's not necessarily the talent, but the way he's been booked and the way he's been presented. It's like,
absolutely. I understand your argument there.
It's like you're who, and you want to get in the ring with Ali. Like, what makes you special? The king of Canada out of nowhere. And the other thing was just randomly out of nowhere. Like, Ethan Page hasn't won a match on AEW TV. I guess he's winning matches in Ring of Honor, but what makes him so... I don't know. It just hurts my head. And then they've got these Continental Classic matches, and they're just kind of like blah, and you see who's going to win and who's not going to win. I think we're going to get Moxley versus Bryan Danielson in the end of this, at the rate it's going.
Which I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's been a while since they've had a really good knock-on drag-out match.
Yeah, that's great. The match is great, but it's the title, and it's stupid. Oh, it's going to be a long-time American Triple Crown winner. We're going to have a Triple Crown winner. I'm like, who cares about a Triple Crown winner? Like, wait, there are 3 belts that mean nothing. I mean, it's you can't tell me it's a big deal to be a Triple Crown winner when the titles mean nothing. And I'm sorry if you're a Ring of Honor fan. The Ring of Honor World title means nothing right now. The Ring of Honor title gets... right now, the Ring of Honor title can't even be on Ring of Honor TV. Ring of Honor has a pay-per-view coming up, right? But they're not even going to have their world title defended on their little event. Now, granted, everybody's going to say, well, Roman Reigns never defends his title on WWE pay-per-view events. And yeah, you can get it, but also the storyline makes sense. There's a reason why they're doing it. If you don't understand the storyline, then you're just stupid. AEW
also,
marks.
You can defend the WWE Championship or the WWE Universal Championship because
Yeah.
it has over 50 years of equity. None of the titles
Yeah.
on AEW have over 50 years of equity.
Well, they haven't. The whole thing with the Universal title, it's been 3 years or whatever it is, and they built it to be prestigious. So Roman Reigns not defending the title doesn't necessarily hurt the image. The Ring of Honor title has been treated like a chump title, and the champion, the quote-unquote champion, as they call him every time he comes out, has lost 2 matches now.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're
and
like...
I said, when he won both of those titles, I told you this would be the highest that Tony Khan would allow him to be. And he's making him look like a fool now.
Well, he's about to be out of the tournament.
Yeah.
One more loss, he's out of the tournament. So he will no longer be the champion. So... And he won't even be really pinned to lose the belt. So, I mean, that really just, like, defeats the whole purpose of everything. And I'm just going, yay. And I still don't get what the Triple Crown thing is. It's like, okay, you have 3 titles, you're a Triple Crown winner. I get if you were, back in the day in WWE where you might have won the tag team titles, the Intercontinental title, and the World title, and then been said you were a Triple Crown winner, even though you may not have held the belts all at the same time. But I don't get this idea. I feel like they're going to present this Triple Crown thing like you're going to defend all 3 titles every time you wrestle. And I'm just like...
Basically. That's the way it comes off to me, too.
Yeah, I guess you can carry the Ring of Honor title, but I'm just like, New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't want to do something with their own belt. They're just like, yeah, whatever you want to do with it, Tony. We don't care. Or what's his name, Mr. Miguel? Anthony Inoki and Anthony Iconi or whatever. The wannabe Antonio Inoki. And I think that's what's happened. Ever since they had that Inoki thing and Tony Khan's been wearing that red scarf, I think somewhere in his head he thinks he's going to be the next Antonio Inoki in the booking process.
Never going to happen.
I think Tony Khan drank the Kool-Aid in his mind. That's who he thinks he is. I think the internet people I think he's listening to these Reddit fans. I think he's listening to the trolls. I think the trolls have got a hold of Tony Khan. And like they're really just trolling him. Like, oh yeah, you're like Antonio Inoki. You're going to be the next Antonio Inoki. Like they're trolling him, but he's not getting it, Mm-hmm. This is what I feel. Anyways. Is there anything else you want to add to tonight's crap shoot?
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about tonight.
Well, that's how tonight was booked. Okay, you two guys, go. And then hell, Rampage. Let's talk. You want to talk about Rampage? 6-man match, 6-woman match. Let's put 20 people on TV and whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
They do that in New Japan too at times. Because not every card can be, the singles matches and the.
But it's New Japan on TV every week.
No.
So they can get away with that, be a little more justified because they have events that happen every once in a while. So trying to get as many of their stars on the card, it's justified. But you take the low matches with the high matches because they actually put something on that's good. So it's a mixture. Yeah. It's not a show every week of crap that you're just going.
Well, the thing is So they have tours, is what they do. They have what would be the equivalent of house shows.
Yeah.
And they just kind of throw it onto their New Japan World streaming service.
Yes.
So it's not the same as having weekly TV, but they have more content in this era than they used to.
Yeah.
Than say back in the WCW days, as an example.
Yeah. And it's a different culture that's watching that.
This is true. Very true.
I mean, that's why we only really hear about New Japan Pro Wrestling pretty much on the West Coast. I don't think New Japan Pro Wrestling's done, well, they've done shows in New York, but the major markets, they're not going out of the major wrestling markets, other than hitting spots in California. They know where their clientele is, and it's a cultural difference for one. Plus, they're not overexposed, where Tony Khan has 5 hours of TV every week. And he sucks at booking it all.
Yeah. And it's to the point he can't book one show, let alone 3.
No. And one of his creative guys quit on him. Like, I'm out because you don't want to go this way. And Tony Khan wants to be the New Japan of the Americas. And I'm just like, good luck on that. Anyways, this was your AEW Collision for December 2nd, 2023. Hey, is all I can say about it. We will be back real soon. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to go over the weekly Value Wrestling Weekly Roundup. There we go. Roundup. It'll be the Value Wrestling's weekly roundup where we review all the news and all the stuff that's happened during the past week in the world of professional wrestling. We'll get to talk about the Ric Flair scandalness. We'll get to talk about a bad Continental Classic. We'll get to talk about CM Punk and a good promo, bad promo. What do you care? Randy Orton signing with SmackDown. What does that mean for the future of professional wrestling? Do we have a dream match being booked for WrestleMania? Is Stone Cold Steve Austin going to be at WrestleMania? Will him and CM Punk be able to tie it up? Will it be a good match? How will they make this match work? Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff to go over. And then hopefully we won't have to talk too much about AEW. But we'll see. So we're going to do that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so make sure you're here. If you're already a subscriber to the channel, make sure you ring that bell for notifications, so whenever we go live or any new content come up on the channel, you will be alerted. If you're in here and watching this now, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get those likes boosted up. If you're watching this later, go ahead and hit that like button. At any point in time you're watching this, make sure you share this out with friends, family, and all your pro wrestling fans so they all get a chance. And if you're here and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Value Wrestling team. Become part of the fastest growing wrestling podcast group. Something, my brain farted there. But hey, sometimes I have an idea and it's there, and then sometimes it becomes a fleeting moment and it goes bye-bye and says nope. But we thank you for being here. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for taking your time out of your day. I'm the Big Time. That is Paulus Clarke. We are going to be here with Mr. Z. If he doesn't go wild and out tonight, to go over everything. He will break down New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let us go on. Mr. Z might bring us New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know. He might bring a rant on Tony Khan about how he's treating New Japan Pro Wrestling people in AEW and elsewhere. Could be very interesting to see because even he's kind of getting fed up with the shows. But unless there's anything else you need to say tonight, Mr. Clarke.
It's time to close out so we can prepare for tomorrow.
You know it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks. This